What's good, everybody? I'm the G with a PhD, and you're tuned in to the Green Gorilla channel, the place where Black men can express themselves freely, straight up, no chaser. Make sure to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And I want to give a shout out to my members, Force Windu, Lady Miss Thing Green, BGS Ibmore, and Marvin Battle Jr. Appreciate y'all support. I just, I got to be forthcoming, man. I have an admission to make, okay? And I just got to be honest with myself and honest with y'all. And, I don't feel like I can go forward without keeping it real. Okay. And so, I just come to the conclusion that for all intents and purposes, I'm toxic. That's my admission. I am toxic. That's my admission. By today's standards and today's culture and society, I am toxic and I accept it. I accept it. I come to the realization that I am toxic. I speak my mind and people are offended by the things I say. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I am toxic. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I'm just tired of hiding it and, pussyfooting around it. I'm toxic. I use curse words in my conversation, and I don't even care if it offends people, even though I could use other words to express my ideas. I'm toxic. I believe that men, for the most part, are the natural leaders of the family. In other words, I support the patriarchy. I'm toxic. I'm like shoulder shrugging, like, okay, I am. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I believe men have just as much right to guide and shape the direction of their children and the children's values as women. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I'm toxic. I believe that a lot of Black women, not all, but a lot of them, after the civil rights movement, have begun to practice racial hypergamy and that they've destroyed the Black family, probably beyond the point of repair. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I'm toxic. I believe that a normal sexual relationship, it should be between Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. Now, I'm not saying that I should persecute the gay members of the Black community, but I'm saying that the normal relationship is between a man and a woman. I'm toxic. It is what it is. It just is what it is. I believe that people should not be persecuted for being gay, but I also think that the promotion of gay sexuality and transgender lifestyles to minors is child abuse. I'm toxic. I believe that teaching girls to be sexual before they reach puberty that in itself is toxic. And if I'm toxic for saying that, I'm toxic. Sorry. I realize it now. And I just don't care. It is what it is. I believe that if a woman tries to harm a man by means of violence, then the man has the right to protect himself. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I am toxic. I admit it. I believe that single motherhood is freelance whoredom and that it's a mark of a culture in decline. It's abnormal. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I believe that men lose a part of themselves when they join in a partnership with many women today, because many of today's women have nothing to offer men but a bunch of nagging and unreasonable demands without the exchange of anything of value but some WAP. That doesn't make anybody special. Some WAP. I said this before. Half of the mammalian species have WAP. It just is what it is. I'm toxic. I'm not saying that men are special either. They might have some GAD. I'm going to leave it up to your imagination what GAD is. But hey, that doesn't make you special either. I believe that what makes you special is the value you put into the relationships that you form with other people, and the other things that you do in the world that provide service for other persons. I'm toxic. I believe that this civilization promotes whore culture and slut walk culture, not a culture that breeds respectable wives that are seeking to build wealth and a desirable culture for their children to be reared in. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I believe that many of today's women are spoiled brats, and the only way they can compete with men is by domesticating masculinity and feminizing men. I am toxic. I'm toxic. I believe that trans women are not real women, not because they can't give birth, but because they were born with penises. I'm sorry, but I'm toxic. And if I do date a woman, I want my woman to have a WAP, not a 9-inch penis. I'm toxic. It is what it is. And I admit it, and I accept it. I believe that Black Lives Matter is a fake organization that exploits the deaths of Black men for the sake of advancing the interest of mammies and race traitorous Black lesbians. I am toxic. I might lose friends, I might lose subscribers. It is what it is. I'm just telling you, I'm toxic. I'll wear it. If the shoe fit, let them wear it. If the cap fit, let them wear it. I'm wearing it. I believe the idea that if Black women are free, then everyone else be free, will be free. That's a lie. And I feel that, the only reason that a lot of people promote it is because they're advancing their own self-interest, and it's narcissistic. It is what it is. I'm toxic. I believe that men should neither protect nor provide for ungrateful, disrespectful, and exploitative women. I am toxic. It is what it is. I'm toxic. Shout out to Unreasonable Man. I ain't, T Fitness for you. I want to give a shout out to Counselor Murray, going postal. I'm just admitting the truth. I'm not trying to be ignorant, but by today's standards, I am toxic, man. I'm a throwback to another time, a relic. I'm regressive, and I admit it. I am toxic. Shout out to Dr. Johnson. What's good, brother? I am toxic, man. And I accept it. I contended with it for a while and thought to myself, I'm not toxic, man. I'm progressive. I'm not. Not if being progressive means that I have to accept the value system that I really don't accept. So I am toxic. I'm toxic. I'm toxic. To be honest, I believe that most Black male academicians are maggots and simps, and that they have no business representing the interest of Black males. I'm toxic. I'm sorry, but I'm toxic. It is what it is. I'm toxic. I am toxic, man. I'm sick. I'm toxic. I believe Cardi B is a tramp, and that Offset's life would probably be better off without her. I'm toxic. Not to say Offset is not a thought, because he is, but I think Cardi B is a thought as well. So, that wasn't a match made in heaven. Can't put two holes together and expect to have a happy life, happy husband and wife. I'm toxic. It is what it is. Now, I don't believe Meg Thee Stallion should have ever got shot. I do not promote violence, but I think she's a loudmouth troublemaker. And I would be disappointed if she was my daughter. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I'm not trying to be ignorant, but I'm toxic, man. I'm going to weigh in. I'm going to say what I have to say, and I'm going to think what I think. I believe Lizzo is fat. And she's long been past the you're one burger away stage. She needs to go see a doctor, hit the gym more often, and make less visits to Dunkin' Donuts. I am toxic. It is what it is. I accept it, man. I think Jada Pinkett Smith is a liar, and she is a disgrace to her husband and her children, and she exploited August Alsina. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I mean, I'm toxic, man. It is what it is. I believe feminism started off with some reasonable aims, but I think it's devolved into a cesspool of nonsense in the second wave. It's created a bunch of whining and entitled princesses that wouldn't know what to do if the society in which we live was faced with a military threat or a for real crisis. I'm toxic. We be trying to figure out who gonna run stuff, and by the time we figured it out, we'd already be decimated, annihilated maybe. I'm toxic. I think mansplaining is awesome and one of the greatest things that men can do in acquiring knowledge and understanding. It's the way men bounce ideas off one another, and I love it. I'm toxic. I just got to admit it, man. I am toxic, man. I'm toxic. And I don't believe that Me Too, Believe Her, or Believe All Women are reasonable responses to violence against women. I am toxic, man. I'm toxic. It just is what it is. And look, I'm sorry if I upset people. But then again, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I think men don't need permission to speak. And that even thinking that they need permission to speak is a violation of masculinity in and of itself. I'm toxic. I'm toxic. It just is what it is. Now, I'm not going to stay here long. I'm not going to run this to death. All I got to do is just admit the truth. I am toxic. You have a toxic influencer. The Green Gorilla channel is filled with black male toxicity in relation to today's standards. It's not a politically correct channel. It is what it is. I admit it. But I will not be silent. I will not be constrained in what I think. I will offend, and I will do so willingly because I am toxic. I have toxic masculinity. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm toxic. And I keep repeating it over and over again so I can really actually let you know it's my admission, it's my confession. I confess to you all, I am toxic. I've made mistakes in my life and I've done some things that I've been ashamed of, but I've tried to make the best out of what I've been given and granted by the gods, the fates, or whatever gods may be. Who knows? But I have done the best that I could. I'm toxic. I never intended to be a baby daddy. I wanted to be a father to my children and live in a mononuclear family, but it didn't pan out that way. I'm toxic. It is what it is. I try and fail, but I try again when I fail. It is what it is. But I can't change. I have to be true to my beliefs. I have to be true to myself. And I have to be true to y'all. I'm toxic. I want to thank you, Warren Thomas, for the Cash App hit. I appreciate it. You know, I don't want to talk your heads off. And Pharaoh Edmondson, I want to also give you a shout out. You know, I take it from a man. I tried my best to do what was politically correct. And I've had a set of experiences in my life that have led me to become more confirmed in my beliefs that are more strong in my belief system that lets me know that today's standards, it makes me toxic. And I don't care. I'm the Toxic Avenger. That's my new moniker. I'm the Toxic Avenger, man. I'm the Toxic Avenger. The G with the PhD. This is the Green Gorilla channel, and this is how you get down. If you're joining me, thank you so much for having done so. Thank you for the support that all of you have shown me. This is my admission. This is my first step to my reality and my truth. It is what it is. Thank you all for joining me and taking time out of your busy day. And I'm going to leave you with an outro. I'll holler at y'all later, man. I told you this wasn't going to take long. Also, Mr. Williams, thank you so much for the donation. Thank y'all, man. Until the next time, one.
Smoke the zone, and the green gorilla, man, it got me gone. My hater block has got it where you cannot see my eyes. When I see your lips and I see your hips and I see them thick old thighs. You can come and smoke with me, smoke up in the VIP. You remind me of a drink, some Coke mixed with some Hennessy. Better yet, you remind me of a dubstep that ain't got no seeds. Now come and blow with me.